Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to it. The mic might be too loud. Let me turn it down a notch. I may cuss, but I don't curse. Let's get that situated first. Bars because I'm nice and all that. We know that already, though. So, here we are back with another episode of Astrology After Dark. This is the pre record version, everyone, episode 2. And we're going to be continuing on the health thing. So, I've come up with this idea in addition to what I have already I did. That's not a word, but you get what I'm saying, right? To where I'm going to keep the focus and the concentration on where the sun is at. So whatever sign that the sun is in, that's predominantly what the podcast is going to center around. You get what I'm saying? So that also prepares you, even without a pre-recording video, to have some type of idea of where I'm going to be going next when it comes to these episodes. You heard? And I think it actually align with life when life is life in real time as well, because that's the current transit. You know what I mean? And the sun does what? Turns on the light, the focus, and the concentration on the area that it's at. And since we're already experiencing that in day to day life, why not, connect the dots with the uh, podcast episodes that way too? I also gather that for those of you who are watching, who are entrepreneurs and who are doing your thing like that, you might as well take that as some game too, because I think that's a way that you can always be trending. You know what I mean? Like whatever I'm talking about that's going to be health related or Virgo related, it's got to be able to trend in some type of way. So I guess if I use a hashtag that's related to one of those factors or whatever the case may be, it might hit better in the algorithm. Now this is just a theory, you know, but we'll see. You know what I mean? I'm really not a trendy type of guy, or let's say like I don't like to follow trends or whatever the case may be. But I'm content with myself because when I realized, I thought about it, I'm like, well, you're not following a trend. You're just talking about what's happening in real life in real time. So that's what that is. So enough about that, right? Let's get to what I'll be discussing. I'm not even going to hold y'all long. This doesn't really need a thorough breakdown. We'll get to the thoroughness, I guess, when we get to the live tomorrow night. So I will address the things that I'll be covering, though maybe not in the highest detail, but I'll give you an idea of what's going to be going on tomorrow. So I think we're going to be addressing the elephant in the room, and when I say elephant in the room, right, I mean the thing that has everybody in an uproar right now, if you pay attention to like entertainment, if you're gossipy, if you follow gossip, if you follow trends, if you follow the news, there's nowhere in the world that you haven't been able to pinpoint or observe this particular thing. Now, I'm not the one to be chasing it. I'm gonna continue being that way. I don't gotta say homeboy name. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put it in the title or whatever the case may be, despite how much gravitational pull that can create. Um, I want to get more around the issue instead of the person. I think we could dissect, analyze. We're going to critique, y'all. It's still Virgo season, you know what I mean? So we're going to be critiquing the whole situation, but I don't think it's necessary to pull apart, the name or the different several names and, you know, let's just look at the topic. We're going to be looking at the topic, and I'm going to keep it on. Well, I don't know. I can't say I'm going to keep it because when we go on live, sometimes that shit just expands. It grows legs and it grows all types of tentacles. But I'm going to begin looking at the actual charges, right? Why am I being vague? Y'all know how I am. Yeah? The actual charges. Now y'all know what I'm talking about, right? We're going to be looking at the actual charges because look, I got something. Look, I just something just don't sit right with me when I look at the actual charges and I'm like, how do they even think something like that is going to stick based upon what they have? And you know what's awkward, right? We was just talking about last week. I brought up how New York has changed, man. New York ain't really been like that. Like, if you know New York, like law enforcement can't wait to grab the biggest wigs and do X, Y, and Z, and you know what I mean? Make a headline, make an example out of motherfucker. But there's been this real lenient approach to the way that New York has been dealing with crime now. And for reasons rightfully so, I guess, that when you slice budgets and you say no more police and stuff like that, you should expect things like that. But it's a following suit. I know other major cities had done it before New York, and I'm just looking around like this ain't even New York, B. Like real shit. And then not even a week later, here they go running down on Homeboy. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking like, yo, they caught the heavy artillery in Florida. Why they ain't, you know what I mean? Why didn't the Florida division go run down on them? And maybe I just don't know enough about federal law to understand that part, but I'm just like, maybe it's because it's a pro-gun state or whatever the case may be. But it still don't really make sense to me. You know what I mean? Why the Southern District of Manhattan ran down, except for the big wig nab that I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? New York still won't hesitate to go take down some type of umbrella, especially if it looks like a Rico umbrella or whatever the case may be. But I just don't. Now look, first of all, I just don't see sex trafficking, right? That's first of all. But you know, I'm not trying to trigger nobody out there. Maybe I don't know enough, and I'm cool with that. So this is why we having this pre-recorded video as well, because y'all might know more than I do, more than likely. Bring that with you. You know what I mean? Bring your notebooks. But from what I know, and y'all heard me on enough videos, I would think, to how I tell you about my behavior. Like, yo, a chick want to come see me, like, she gonna have to pay her own tab. Like, I'm not going in my wallet for nothing. For nothing. You really want to see me, you bring your own ass. You know what I mean? You pay your own ticket. You pay your own plane ticket, train ticket, however you get in here. You put, that's on your dime. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the fucking of what that charges, sex trafficking. It's a real sketchy thing, because my thing is like, yo, if you're living a lifestyle, if you're financing a lifestyle, like if you're throwing parties and stuff like that, and people just happen to fuck after the parties or even during the parties, you know, isn't that like a personal thing? Like, isn't that like, and again, maybe I don't have all of the, we're going to really get to the grit tomorrow. I'm not even going to open up the whole can, because I feel like once I start talking about it to a particular level, it's just going to keep running on and running on and running on. So I'm going to stop myself here and just say, look, I'm going to be centering it around the actual charges, what I believe is sex trafficking and racketeering. And, you know, I don't see why baby oil is such a big deal. And I think they just threw that in there for the meme world to take control of it so it can grow legs and run even more. But that's my take on that. I'll also be addressing more health-related issues, the health things that deal with the introduction, should I say, of technology. So, you know, I was bridging the gap between the two ages, the torch being passed from Pisces to Aquarius, and that bridge is connected by way of drugs and drug usage. Yeah, I'll be talking about that again, of how, like, I got one example of the vaping industry, like how that shit like skyrocketed all of a sudden. And to me, it's just weird or unconventional, I guess, to see people walking around with, like, you know, sucking on a USB and like blowing out smoke. That shit is just wild to me. That shit is wild to me. And I'm like, yo, how are y'all getting smoke out of that? Like, what the fuck? The way that just goes is just like, even if I was young and dumb again, that would be something. I don't know, like the youngins, that y'all got it rough, man. The day that I would ever think that I'd see a fucking electronic cigarette, bro, just quit, sis, just quit. If that's what you're trying to do, because to my understanding, a lot of people are using those things so that they can quit actual tobacco usage. And if you ask me, I take the chance with tobacco. Shit. But that's just me. And I don't even, you know what I mean? Trigger warning. Up too fucking late, right? I should have been said that, but that's kind of like, we're gonna talk about it because look, I got research. I done did literature. I done went to the scholastic arena to grab some stuff to like support or refute some claims and things of that nature. I think it's amazing too. This is what I'm also going to bring up. I think it's amazing how, I guess, the delusional energy that's associated with Pisces can have people like be in denial about shit. And what I mean by that is when you check the comment sections of, because I'm very attentive, yo. When you check the comment sections of some of these videos that I lifted so that we can talk about, you'll see how many people are like, that's a fucking lie, bro. Do your fucking research. That shit doesn't cause this. That doesn't cause that. That doesn't cause that. It's healthier than tobacco. Basically defending the usage of their smoking USB, right? And, you know, that actually had me go look for scholastic scientific research on those things, because I'm like, well, what if they're right? You know what I'm saying? What if, and it's like when I check the comment section, it's like the majority of the commenters are in support of the e-cigs. So I'm like, is that just like some Stockholm syndrome shit? Sort of, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's my shit. Like, that's my jam. So don't ever talk about my jam because that's my jam and it's the shit. So it's like you can't ever be wrong. So I started doing the research and I'm like, y'all should think again and think about this, the mystery that's involved, that's still involved with the Pisces characteristics that are kicked up by the Aquarius age. You got to remember, it's not over. If anything, you're going to see more Pisces stuff happen during the Aquarius age as they both simultaneously build. So you're more than likely going to see some deceptive tactics used to promote something like that. So the same way that they just came up with a new ingredient, right, to replace the name of aspartame. How do you pronounce that? I don't know. I don't think I ever even heard anybody say that out loud. Aspartame or aspart. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the artificial sugar that's attached to the artificial sugars. I don't even want to say their name. Like, I despise them. But it's a real fucked up chemical, y'all. And they changed the name of it recently to something else. I'm going to see if I can find a photo if I screenshot it. But they changed the name to something else. All of that deceptive tactics to change the names on the labels and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If it's GMO, if it's non-GMO, if now it's called bioengineered. That type of shit, still Pisces shit, yo. They still trying to veil the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to be talking about that shit, yo. And then it's like, yo, what I do know, and I heavily lean on scholastic backed research. Y'all know that. But I will say this as well, and I still do, don't get me wrong, I still do. But I also want to make a point of how quantitative research sometimes, in scholastic reviews and peer-reviewed research, sometimes could get twisted in a way that, let's say, both things can be true about a particular chemical or product, or, you know what I mean? Whichever one, if both studies are quantitative, whichever one, like, either result can be amplified or put more emphasis on it by the people who are heading that research. And if there's more money to be made in that area, you might see that research get more show. You understand what I'm saying? It might pop up more. You may hear of it more when there's researchers out there that have countered that to say, oh, well, we found this. And it's just like, well, you don't got the money to advertise and publish it the way we got the money to advertise and publish this finding. You understand what I'm saying? So science can get tricky and spooky like that too. I'm aware of that. However, still, when researchers take the time to monitor and measure the impacts of human behavior, take it seriously, yo. Take it serious. Science is a serious thing. As much as it can change as the years go by and stuff goes by, well, fuck it. We're going to keep testing and we're going to keep observing as the years and the times change. But to ignore it completely is just, it's just wild. To be in the comment section and see it is just wild. They got real life doctors on that thing talking about the effects of it and, you know, patients that they've had and stuff like that. Even when the patients get up there, like the victims, I shouldn't call them victims, but maybe they read the label incorrectly. But the people who have been negatively impacted by certain stuff like vaping, right? Like they'll get up there and make their video in the comment section and be like, "You lying bitch" or something like that. You know what I mean? It's not. Oh my God, it's not funny, yo. But you know, and who? Remember what I said last week? How do we know who's who? They might have a point. How do we know for sure that those people on those videos are telling the truth, right? We don't really know. And that's another thing that can be wild, right? Because there could be companies that'll pay people and say, yo, look, wrap a plastic tube around your neck. We're going to give you the prop. We're going to put you in a studio. It's going to be a hospital bed. It's going to look really like you're hooked up to machines, hard to breathe and all that. And we just want you to talk against this product right here. You get what I'm saying? It's like some economic hitman shit. Then the next thing you know, the stock in that company spirals down and somebody gets put out of business. You know? Telling you, Piscean type shit. Not saying that Pisces is acting alone. I know I'm making Pisces look real villainous with these videos, but I'm telling you how much energy the sign holds, and a lot of it is because of the passivity of the energy. It's like a blanket of fog. You understand? So what it does is like when bad actors of all, and plus it's a sign that embodies all of the signs. So whenever any bad actor has dignified or, you know, elevated aspects in the charts that suggest that they would do something on some Dr. Evil shit, they'd do it beneath that fog. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't know what the requirements are, for example, I was browsing over something about the FDA and what they approve when it comes to meat products. They said I think 49 or at least 49 or 51% of the meat has to be real meat. And I was like, wait, what? What the fuck do you mean? So what that means is there can be filler put inside of the meats. Pause, because that's crazy work. So I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Why? Why? For why? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? But I get it, right? I get that people want a bit of fucking lunacy around here. I get that people... See, when I start getting passionate, I start taking it to another place. What else I'm going to be talking about, y'all? Let me say that for tomorrow, man. I'm also going to be addressing how I think it's suspicious how there's a lot of noise around politics and the interfering with polls and voting and stuff like that in elections. Yet, from a business standpoint, the types of ideologies that one party, so to say, would say is infecting our nation, our companies, our corporations allow those outside nations to invest in the advertising of those particular things that are suggested to infect our nation. So what that's telling me is there is a smokescreen of us versus them versus us. Every time you turn around, it's this one, and how do we feel about them attacking them? And we're in everybody's shit, right? And that's smokescreen for, look, do you got your country under control? Like, are you the dictator of your area? Oh, you're the dictator of your area? Good. You're the dictator of your area? Good. You got all your people under control? Because we got our sheep under control. It's what's really going on. So yeah, if you what you got 20 mil you want to invest in advertising to push gay, and I brought this up in a video before, right? And no disrespect to the people who are homosexuals. Like I must stress this. This is no disrespect to y'all. I've always stood on, look, y'all do what y'all do, b. You know, try not approaching me though. Try your best not to approaching me and aggressing me, because that's not my preference, right? That's all I'm saying. So I've brought this up in videos before where, first off, like I may sound like a hypocrite because I've done laid down with two women at the same time on numerous occasions, and I felt nothing wrong about it. I felt like I did not feel like I was sinning. You know what I'm saying? So I'm keeping it, I'm keeping it a beam with y'all, B. I'm doing my best as I can. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just keeping it a beam, y'all. You know? But I've also mentioned that I've seen this advertising that keeps popping up on, and I'm gonna name it specifically on YouTube. I'm gonna name the platform because I think it's important and it differentiates platform from platform. So I would see this ad on, pardon me, y'all. I gotta get this lighting correct. I know that's kind of like irritating. It's fucking with me. My OCD is just kicking in like, get that shit under control. But yo, this ad kept coming up. I don't know if y'all seen it. If y'all seen it, get in the comment section. It asked for you to take a gay test. It's asked if you're gay or not, and it got the rainbow colors all over the place, some type of emoji. I screenshot the photo, so I will be bringing it up on the live, right? And I just be like, yo, because it's so colorful, it's so bright, it stands out, right? You can't help but notice that shit when you're just browsing your YouTube feed like you normally would do, and it's just like, yo, for why? For why are y'all doing this, right? And it's like, if you try to remove it, right? Not even flag it, B. Not even flag it. But if you try to remove it, and this is what I'm saying, it's important to name the platform, because if you on Facebook and you see a particular ad that you don't like, you don't prefer it. Like if I see a particular food item, y'all know how I be on my shit. And I know what chemicals is in it and this, that, and the third. And they promoting that shit down my feed. They got this feature where you can click it and you can say hide ad. I think it says forever. Like hide this ad. It doesn't say delete it, because it's not going to do that, because you're going to fuck up with their money. You're going to fuck up Facebook bottom line if they allow you to delete the ad altogether. But they do at least allow you to say, yo, I don't want to see this shit. Don't let it show up on my feed again. And they be honoring that shit. Okay, that's decent. But when it comes to YouTube, nah, they give you like two options. They say, do you want to flag this advertisement because it violates YouTube's public policy or terms and conditions? No, I don't want to do that because I don't know the front and back hand of what YouTube's terms and conditions are. That's first of all. Second of all, I'm pretty sure if I click that, I'm going to make the mistake of it doesn't violate YouTube's policy because it's fucking there. Third of all, I don't have no hate for it. I don't want to flag them. I don't want to get them in trouble. I don't want to, especially if it passed the threshold for it to be advertised. You know, there are people who are curious and who want to know if they're gay or not. So my thing is, I think the other option is, does it violate any type of crime or something like that? Is it offensive or is it hateful or some shit like that? And it's not that either. You know, I just don't care to see it, you know? So I go do further research and I'm like, well, let me see where this is from. Something just intuitively told me, like, yo, see if you could find out where it's from. Now I got the screenshots for both of these things. I'll be bringing it up on the live. I found out where it's from. Let's just say it's from a particular region in the world where who we allegedly hate so much. So much. So much. So it's like, well, how? For why is that happening? Not only that, when you or if you go to advertise using YouTube, and YouTube probably gonna have a field day with this video. They probably like, nigga, you trying to get monetized? Not this one, buddy. It's worth the risk. So if you try to advertise in a particular area of the world, they will stop you. I know one place was Ukraine. I don't know if it's still like that, but I know it was. That you can't show an advertisement in Ukraine. I think it's also like that, I think, in Iran. Don't quote me on that. Maybe I'll look that up before tomorrow's live. Maybe. But if you know, get in the comment section. I do know firsthand from trying to run an ad that, especially when it first kicked off over there, that you were not allowed to run an ad over there. So I kind of feel like there's this picking and choosing of who can do what, to where, when, how, and why through the corporations. And it's just like, yo, if I don't, the same way that they feel like they don't. Oh, and another thing that they said about the advertisement, the gay joint, right, is that the reason, because I said, why am I being shown this ad? And it says the reason you're being shown this ad is because of your location. So I'm saying to myself, oh, so it's just because I live in New York, you can show me the homo ad, the homosexual ad? And I'm like, that's wild. Or, what am I supposed to say? That's bias, or that's predatory, right? And if it's a location thing, if it's New York, well, where's the gay-free areas? Not saying that I want to move there either. I just want to know. You know what I mean? Where is the actual region of the location that you won't be targeted with gay things, and why is it that way? What's going on over in that area that they don't get that? And the other reason for seeing that ad is because the time of the day. So, homosexuals, please enlighten me. Is there a particular time of the day that I don't know about that y'all can inform me, which is like the gay hour or something like that? I don't. I hope y'all are laughing with me too. You know what I'm saying? I just be wanting to know, B. I just be wanting to know, because it's one thing when you can gloss over something. It's like, but it's another thing when every time you turn around and you scrolling and it's just this big rainbow flag just really targeting you, asking you this stuff, and it's just like, dude, I know myself. Like, I know what's going on. Like, I'm cool. Like, relax. But that shit don't go away. You know what I mean? I want to know the ins and outs of that shit. So I say that to say this. I will be addressing more of the Aquarian characteristics, and I'm not calling all Aquarius people homosexuals either, or people with heavy Aquarius aspects in your chart. And again, if you are, you are. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But I do think it's important to actually address these things, especially if those are the talking points politically, and, campaign dollars, which are a lot of them being pumped into this shit. Like, it's the Aquarius age. You're not going to be able to pull fast ones on us no more. The veil is lifted. Knock it the fuck off. And the more that we do this shit, the more that you're going to know we not playing with nobody. We not playing with nobody. Nobody is safe. And I'm so attentive, and, yo, my shit be so real time. Like, I be coming across stuff, pause. But I be like, oh yeah, that's a good for the top. That's good for the podcast. That's good for the podcast. Like, stop playing with us out here. What else I'll be talking about? I will be also talking about how just more electronic stuff is impacting the health of humanity. What else? And I'm going to put emphasis on the judging of that case that I was talking about in the beginning. I think that's more of where my shit kicks up. And I'm gonna explain to y'all why. I'm gonna keep that for Friday. I'm gonna keep that for tomorrow night. And it sounds like maybe now that I've gone through the list, it seems like I could get more topics. Seems like maybe I don't have enough. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Even if it's last minute or whatever the case may be, we'll figure it out. If it's something that y'all feel that I haven't mentioned, that is like Virgo related in some type of way, that you might want to get added on to the live tomorrow, get in the comment section and mention it, and I'll do my best to accommodate and find something that relates to that particular thing. Alright? So until next time and all of that, or I guess basically I'll see y'all tomorrow if y'all are seeing this today. If not, y'all will see. Just use the search engine, yo, so you can find episode 2 of the Astrology After Dark podcast. All right.